Hello and welcome to a quick review of Yuzo Koshiro's hotly anticipated scrolling shooter for the Mega Drive, Earthion. Except this isn't on Mega Drive, this is the Steam version, as the actual Mega Drive version, the version I expected I would be playing first, is not going to be out until next year. Bit gutted seeing as this is a Mega Drive game first and foremost, but it's only 15 quid or $20 on Steam if you want to play it in the meantime. This Steam key was sent over by Ancient, so thanks a lot for that. I will of course buy the Mega Drive physical cart as soon as it becomes available, even though Ancient have chosen to go through limited run. But please do support Ancient by buying a legitimate copy of this. I know that piracy on this has been rife, to the point that Yuzo has even put a statement out about it. Pirating indie games can kill these small projects, so those of you calling yourselves retro gaming fans and at the same time pirating these games need to take a good look at yourselves. I'm a bit late to this review as I've been on holiday in Italy, but better late than never. There are 4 difficulty settings available. I started on easy, which I think is a great place to start if, like me, you're not amazing at shooters. Normal is where you want to start if you're good at them, and the difficulty is ramped up quite a bit from easy. Hard and hotshot are also available for you as you improve and want a more challenging experience. I'm really grateful for an easy mode that is actually quite easy, as sometimes it's enjoyable for me to just play through a shooter without having a punishing challenge, so here you have the option to adjust the difficulty to suit your ability or perhaps mood. If you play it sensibly, you should be able to complete the game on easy without using a continue with lives to spare with very little practice. You can set the number of lives you have per continue up to 6, I think you have 3 continues per run. There are loads of settings for the display as well, like aspect ratio, adding scan lines, the overlay and so on. The menu also has a password save feature and a challenge mode, which is a series of score and time challenges. The story takes place in an unspecified time in the future. Earth is a bit messed up, so people start to flee to colonise Mars. Some stragglers stay behind on Earth to do some more research into solutions for the state of the planet, including your character, Asusa, a scientist. Alien attackers turn up and attack Earth, killing her family in the process. These stragglers form an Earth Defense Force, aka Earthion, using ships developed by reverse engineering alien technology. I really like that it's science fiction but is based in our solar system rather than some random faraway star system. I played this using a Series X controller. Controls are X to shoot your main shot, A to fire your sub-weapon, or Y to shoot both. Even so, I found myself just pressing X and A together anyway. B or RB cycle through your available sub-weapons. You can of course change the controller mapping in the options menu. At the top of the screen you have your score, your standard shot's power, and your shield, which is your ship's health. Your shield is depleted as you take damage, and when you get very low you get an audible warning message, so take care not to get hit or it's instant death. If you successfully avoid taking damage for a short while, your shield will recharge. Sub-weapons are basically special secondary weapons. Your ship starts out with 2 sub-weapon slots, shown at the top right next to the stage you're on and number of lives remaining. Sub-weapons include lasers, spread shots, missiles, flamethrowers and more, and all are really nicely varied and suit different situations. The Steam achievements include achievements for defeating bosses using certain sub-weapons. Collecting these green gems fill up both your main shot strength meter at the top left and the strength meters of your sub-weapons at the top right. Once a sub-weapons meter is filled, it will level up that weapon to a maximum of level 3 at first. Picking up a new sub-weapon power-up will, if you don't have any free slots, replace a current weapon, so change to the weapon you wish to replace before picking up the power-up. In addition to the sub-weapon power-ups you can collect, you'll sometimes see these adaptation pods. These seem innocuous at first, but make it to the end of a stage with one of these beauties equipped and you'll unlock this upgrade screen. Here you can select one of the available upgrades, which are extremely powerful. You can add another standard shot and shield slot pair, add another sub-weapon slot, buy an extra life, increase the maximum level of your sub-weapons, or install a sub-weapon. By far the most powerful options here are the extra slots, which you can see here at the top of the screen. You have 3 empty slots, which can become either new sub-weapon slots or standard shot and shield slots. Using these adaptation pods is absolutely vital to succeeding in this game. Also in the power up capsules where you'll find weapons and adaptation pods, you'll sometimes find extra lives. These are usually in harder to reach areas on the levels. The game's 8 levels are nicely varied and ramp up the difficulty at a good pace. Stage 4, which begins with this brilliant little alien pursuit section, introduces some more enclosed scenery, so you have to worry more about colliding with the level's environment. And this claustrophobia really increases even further in stage 7 when you're forced into tight corridors filled with enemy turrets. I don't have to tell you that Earthion's graphics are just absolutely stunning. I can't wait to play this on my Mega Drive on a CRT. There are loads of cool bits of visual trickery going on. A favourite is this amazingly slick little animation your ship does at the start of each stage. Brilliant sense of depth there. And as I said earlier, I like that it takes place in our solar system, so the first stage is in Earth's atmosphere, which looks really cool. And then oodles of parallax, of course. Stage 2 is a great example. It starts off scrolling diagonally with a wonderful sense of motion. It then drops you into the clouds with some lovely parallax, and you know we love parallax. Later in the level you get this stunning orange and purple sunset which just looks amazing. It has everything you'd want in a shooter and expect from Ancient. Great use of colour and good variety of colour between stages, beautifully drawn sprites and loads of little things going on in the background and foreground like explosions, other ships, scenery, asteroids, you name it. In fact, it left me thinking, will this run okay on a Mega Drive? But I have full faith in them. Enemy variety is very impressive. You never feel like you're facing the same old enemies again and again at any point during the game's 8 levels. Bosses are really fun and superbly designed, and while you fight a boss their health is displayed at the top left where the score usually is, something I didn't actually realise until after my first playthrough. The levels also have sub-bosses at certain points. The music is, as you'd expect, absolutely fantastic. There's so much going on musically, so many moving parts, much like Yuzo's other Mega Drive soundtracks, something that always lifts his music above the rest. The music also fits the genre, it's shmup appropriate, something which can't be said of all the Mega Drive indie shooters. The menu has a music player too, so you can listen to all the tracks there while the game's excellent intro loops on screen. A nice touch are the menu sounds, which are the same as in Streets of Rage. The speech in the game is really good. Speech samples are played when you collect weapons, when your shield is low, and you even get helpful advice during boss fights, presumably from your Earthion teammates. This may come in the form of telling you where the boss's weak point is and where to aim, or just helpful encouragement like keep it up, indicating you've almost defeated the boss. Really cool. Aside from the speech, there are a great many sound effects during the game, many of which have that distinctly Mega Drive flavour. Once you complete the game you're awarded a score based on your performance across several stats, and then if you're good enough you'll hit the leaderboard. What's a brilliant touch is that you get a sort of a new game plus mode in the form of a password to use. This password remembers all the upgrades you purchased throughout your run, which you can then use on an attempt at a higher difficulty. That means you'll start stage 1 with all the extra slots and so on that you ended your run with, giving you that competitive edge. Really good idea. Really impressed by this. Shooters on the Mega Drive have been hit and miss in recent years, but this is how you do a 16-bit shooter. Just a shame we're not seeing it on the Mega Drive because the proof will be in the pudding once that releases. I for one am looking forward to it. But yeah, this is the most fun I've had playing a scrolling shooter in quite a while, can't fault it. Anyway, you probably want to see some clips of the game running without me waffling over it, so I'll leave you with some footage. Let me know your thoughts on Earthion. Thanks again to Ancient for the review code, and thank you for watching.
Fire! Hyper Missile! Adaptation pod! Whomp! Whomp! Whomp!